Step back into the action-packed world of Mortal Kombat 1995, the cult classic that brought video game legends to life on the big screen. From unforgettable fight scenes to iconic one-liners, the film captured the hearts of fans around the globe. But what really happened to the actors behind the characters nearly 30 years later in 2025? Some continued their careers in Hollywood, some pursued entirely different paths, and others have surprising stories that few know about. Join us as we dive into the lives of the Mortal Kombat cast, uncovering where they are now, how their careers evolved, and the unexpected twists and turns that have defined their journeys since the legendary movie first stunned audiences. Trevor Goddard was born on October 14, 1962 in Croydon, England, and took on the role of Kano in Mortal Kombat in 1995 at the age of 33. Kano, the brutal mercenary anti-hero, with a cunning edge and a calculating menace, was brought vividly to life by Goddard's intense physicality and gravelly idiosyncratic accent, which later influenced the character's reinterpretation in the video game franchise. Behind the scenes, Goddard's life was far from the disciplined fighter he portrayed. He had a turbulent punk rock adolescence, during which he adopted a rebellious persona and even fabricated an Australian heritage to lend mystique to his career, a claim he maintained for years despite frequent skepticism. Childhood for Goddard was marked by instability and emotional neglect, forcing him to develop a tough exterior and hide his vulnerabilities, a pattern that followed him into adulthood. His professional life was a roller coaster. After early struggles in minor UK television roles, he experienced sudden visibility through Mortal Kombat, yet faced typecasting and persistent rumors of unreliability on set. He wrestled with addictions, including heroin, cocaine, diazepam, and Vicodin, which eventually culminated in his untimely death on June 7, 2003, in North Hollywood at age 40. Goddard's personal relationships were fraught, including a troubled marriage and separation that coincided with his final years, and his early demise sparked speculation about suicide, despite being ruled accidental. His net worth at death was estimated between $500,000 and $1 million, including earnings from film and television credits like Jag Deep Rising and Pirates of the Caribbean. Even after death, Goddard's portrayal of Kano endures as a cult touchstone of 1990s action cinema, a raw embodiment of charisma shadowed by private demons, and a life lived on the edge of fame and addiction. Peter Jason was born on July 27, 1944 in Los Angeles, California, and played Master Boyd in Mortal Kombat in 1995 at the age of 51. Master Boyd, a wise and pragmatic mentor, introduced early narrative stakes and conveyed the disciplined rigor necessary for the story's martial framework, and Jason's precise, understated performance lent credibility to the fantastical elements of the plot. Growing up in post-war Los Angeles, Jason experienced a conventional yet economically constrained upbringing, witnessing family hardships that instilled both independence and an early awareness of the fragility of opportunity in show business. His career was extraordinarily prolific, spanning over 250 credits with frequent typecasting as military officers, law enforcement, or stoic authority figures, which occasionally frustrated him but also solidified his reputation as a reliable and versatile character actor. Jason was known for his generosity to younger actors, humor on set, and avoidance of scandal, though he faced occasional setbacks with projects that failed to achieve recognition or were shelved, representing some of the more painful professional disappointments in his life. His personal life was largely private, with stable relationships and no public controversies, though he endured the emotional toll common to long careers in Hollywood, including the loss of colleagues and the strain of persistent work in demanding roles. After a long battle with cancer, Peter Jason passed away on February 20, 2025 in West Hollywood at the age of 80. His estate, estimated at $2 to $3 million, included real estate royalties and investments accrued from decades of steady employment in film, television, and voice acting. Even in death, Jason's contributions to cult classics like They Live in Deadwood, alongside his memorable mentor figures in Mortal Kombat, ensure that his legacy as a dependable, authoritative presence remains firmly cemented in the annals of genre cinema, a testament to a life of sustained craft and understated influence. Lloyd Kino was born on 16/5/1919 and appeared as the wise, gentle grandfather in Mortal Kombat 1995 at age 76, a role that anchored the film's mystical energy in a sense of heritage and tradition. His character, quiet yet pivotal, conveyed calm and moral authority, leaving an impression far beyond his screen time. Kino was raised in Seattle in a modest Japanese-American household, navigating an environment rife with prejudice and economic hardship. Childhood teasing and social marginalization instilled in him a careful reserve and an enduring capacity to observe rather than confront. He carved a Hollywood career spanning over 90 productions, including appearances in Godzilla, Star Trek, and Miss Congeniality, known for a dignified, steady professionalism that made him a sought-after character actor. Despite this, he endured recurring typecasting and the limitations imposed by his ethnicity, which, while providing niche work, also constrained more ambitious creative exploration. Off-screen, he was private, avoiding Hollywood gossip, and while no overt scandal marked his life, colleagues noted a meticulous, sometimes controlling nature on set that could frustrate younger actors. Kino remained unmarried for much of his life and had no known children, his personal life largely shielded from public scrutiny. Later years saw the loss of close friends and colleagues, compounded by the typical physical declines of advanced age. But he maintained a quiet dignity, continuing to mentor aspiring actors. Kino passed away on 21/07 in 2012 in Woodland Hills, California, at 93. Leaving a modest estate reportedly under $1 million, comprised mostly of residuals and small property holdings. While he never amassed fame or fortune, his influence lingers in the careful integrity he brought to roles, quietly shaping the portrayal of elder Japanese-American characters in Hollywood. Christopher Lambert was born on 29/3/1957 and portrayed the enigmatic Lord Raiden in Mortal Kombat 1995. At age 38, his Thunder God, radiating cryptic authority, mystique, and an almost hypnotic charisma that grounded the film's fantastical elements. Raiden's guidance of Earthrealm's warriors was imbued with gravitas, his performance shaped by Lambert's trademark intense gaze and gravelly voice, which simultaneously inspired awe and unease. Lambert's childhood in Great Neck, New York, was a study in displacement, his French parents' peripatetic lifestyle, and his early years spent in both France and the US created a sense of rootlessness and vulnerability, compounded by teasing from peers for his accent and physical awkwardness. His career, though internationally successful, was littered with frustrations, clashes with directors over creative choices, public criticism of his accent in Mortal Kombat, and periods of professional stagnation following the peak of Highlander. Lambert's personal life is similarly turbulent, including multiple high-profile marriages and divorces, bouts of financial mismanagement, and reported feuds with co-stars over billing and compensation, painting a portrait of a man both charismatic and mercurial. Despite the glitter of fame, he has faced isolation, a sense of unfulfilled potential in Hollywood's rigid typecasting, and occasional health struggles from the physical demands of action roles. Today at 68, Lambert continues to work intermittently in European and American cinema. His net worth is estimated between $10 and $20 million, encompassing property royalties from long-running franchises and foreign film earnings. Lambert's legacy is as much shadowed by these personal storms as it is illuminated by his cult status, revealing a life where the allure of cinematic power has always been tempered by volatility, eccentricity, and the haunting distance between public persona and private reality. Robin Shou, born on 17/07/1960, took on the role of Liu Kang in 1995 at the age of 35. Liu Kang was the disciplined, morally steadfast Shaolin monk whose martial arts mastery and righteous determination anchored the film's narrative, and Shou embodied him with a rare authenticity that transcended typical action hero tropes. Growing up in British Hong Kong, Shou endured a childhood shadowed by political instability and the pressures of a traditional family that expected conformity. His passion for martial arts was both an escape and a battleground, where early failures and injuries were compounded by ridicule from peers who saw his intense dedication as obsessive. Shou's career in Hong Kong cinema was anything but smooth. He faced typecasting, grueling schedules, and occasional disputes with directors over stunt safety and billing. A particularly bitter episode involved a highly publicized fight over contract terms with a major Hong Kong studio, which led to him being blacklisted briefly and losing a lead role in a film that became a blockbuster without him. While largely scandal-free Show's personal life was not without tension, early romantic relationships were tumultuous due to his career-driven lifestyle and his relentless training. Regimen sometimes caused rifts with close friends and collaborators. Despite these hurdles, he became an international icon, bridging East and West cinema, and even training other actors in martial arts choreography. Today at 65, he maintains a disciplined regimen, appearing selectively in films and projects while teaching martial arts. His net worth is estimated around $8 million, largely accumulated through film salaries, stunt work, and choreography, cementing a legacy that combines physical mastery with cinematic charisma, and he remains a quietly influential figure in action cinema circles. Hiroyuki Tagawa, born on 27/09/1950, portrayed Shang Tsung in 1995 at age 45, delivering a performance that made the soul-stealing sorcerer unforgettable. Shang Tsung was the archetypal villain, sinister, manipulative, and magnetic, and Tagawa's presence demanded attention, combining martial skill with theatrical flair. Raised in Tokyo and later in the United States, Tagawa's childhood was complicated by cultural displacement and family instability. Navigating a bicultural identity often left him feeling isolated and compelled to prove himself constantly, both academically and physically, using karate as both defense and discipline. His Hollywood career featured remarkable versatility, but was riddled with frustration. Typecasting as Asian villains limited his opportunities, leading to tense negotiations, clashes with producers, and occasional public criticism from casting directors who doubted his range. A notable professional misstep occurred when a high-profile action film he was set to star in was abruptly recast, sparking years of bitterness and rumors of his difficult reputation on set. Personal life challenges mirrored professional ones. Relocations, cultural pressures, and long stretches away from family-tested marriages and personal relationships. Though Tagawa remained largely scandal-free in the public eye, in recent years he embraced Eastern Orthodoxy and Russian citizenship, deepening his philosophical and cultural pursuits. Now 74, he continues to act selectively while engaging in teaching and public appearances. His estimated net worth of $10 million reflects decades of work in film, television, and voice acting, a portfolio that combines financial stability with a reputation as one of Hollywood's most memorable martial artists and villains. Lyndon Ashby, born on 23/5/1960, assumed the role of Johnny Cage in 1995 at the age of 35, portraying the brash, cocky Hollywood action star whose charisma and humor masked insecurities and desperation for validation. Cage's role demanded not only comedic timing, but convincing physicality, which Ashby delivered thanks to his martial arts and boxing background. Ashby's upbringing in Atlantic Beach, Florida, was marked by family instability and periods of financial insecurity. He often hid his artistic ambitions from skeptical relatives and endured teasing for his dedication to physical training and performance arts, fostering a private protective personality. Ashby's Hollywood journey was a roller coaster. Early successes in TV and teen films like Teen Wolf were punctuated by near misses and project cancellations, and on-set clashes with directors over creative decisions left him frustrated and occasionally labeled difficult. Rumors circulated of strained relationships with co-stars, minor legal disputes over contracts, and heated disagreements with stunt coordinators, though nothing escalated into long-term scandal. His personal life mirrored the intensity of his screen persona. Multiple romantic entanglements and publicized separations created a tabloid footprint. He largely shrugged off, while friendships in the industry sometimes soured due to miscommunications or the pressures of fame. Currently 65, Ashby lives a quieter life, alternating between television roles and mentoring young actors. His estimated net worth of $8 million reflects decades of consistent work residuals and savvy management. And despite past conflicts, he is remembered as both an approachable mentor and a resilient actor who weathered the volatility of Hollywood while leaving a lasting mark on action cinema culture. John Fujoka was born on June 29, 1925 in Ola, Hawaii, and assumed the role of the chief priest in Mortal Kombat in 1995 at the age of 70. The chief priest was an aura of solemnity and mystical authority, providing the film with a grounding spiritual dimension, and Fujoka's restrained yet commanding presence lent authenticity to the ancient rituals and meditative philosophy his character represented. Fujoka's early years were touched by hardship and a sense of otherness. Growing up in Hawaii with Japanese ancestry, he experienced social prejudice and cultural stereotyping, cultivating a quiet resilience and a private demeanor that remained with him throughout life. His career was largely built on supporting roles portraying disciplined mentors, Japanese holdout soldiers, and authority figures in films such as American Ninja and The Last Flight of Noah's Ark, earning respect for his professionalism and his ability to embody nuanced cultural authenticity. Fujioka lived openly as a gay man with his partner Gerald Lentes at a time when Hollywood was frequently hostile to non-heteronormative relationships, yet he navigated his private life discreetly, avoiding public scandal while maintaining personal fulfillment. He faced the universal struggles of aging, including health concerns and the slow decline of acting opportunities, but retained a dignified presence until his death on December 13, 2018 in Los Angeles at the age of 93. His net worth was modest, likely under $1 million, reflecting a long career defined more by consistent work and character-driven performances than by blockbuster fame. Fujioka's legacy endures not in tabloid fodder or headline-grabbing drama, but through the quiet authority and cultural depth he brought to each role, offering a subtle counterpoint to the flashy action and spectacle surrounding him in the 1990s. Bridget Wilson Sampras was born on 25/9/1973 and played Sonya Blade in 1995 at age 22. Sonya Blade was a formidable, relentless Special Forces officer, a character whose cool composure and lethal efficiency contrasted sharply with the chaotic brutality of Mortal Kombat's tournament, and Wilson Sampras imbued her with both physical intensity and subtle femininity, performing most of her stunts despite the obvious risk. Bridget's early life was not glamorous. Growing up in Gold Beach, Oregon, she faced financial constraints, a father who was emotionally distant, and constant pressure to excel, which led her to hide insecurities behind a confident, model-like exterior. Her career path was turbulent, despite the Miss Teen USA crown, with initial rejection after rejection in Hollywood, persistent typecasting as a teen beauty, and occasional clashes with directors and co-stars who complained about her perfectionist attitude and insistence on doing dangerous stunts herself. Some industry whispers suggested manipulation of casting decisions and social friction on sets, though nothing reached the courts. Her most public stumble was the relative failure of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which overshadowed her early promise. Personal life brought its own challenges: a high-profile marriage to tennis legend Pete Sampras, scrutiny over balancing family with career, and public speculation during periods of illness, including her 2022 ovarian cancer diagnosis, which she has faced privately with resilience. Despite these hurdles, she maintained a stable home and cultivated her family life, though the shadow of public expectation and past professional pressures linger. At 51, she is focused on recovery and family living in relative privacy, with her net worth estimated at $8 million, largely from acting earnings and endorsements. She owns a modest real estate portfolio and investments, and her legacy remains tied to the combination of athleticism, beauty, and grit she brought to Sonya Blade. Chris Casamassa was born on 17/1/1963 and played Scorpion in 1995 at age 32. Scorpion, the silent, vengeful specter, was an embodiment of raw intensity and martial discipline, and Casamassa's mastery of combat choreography made the character terrifyingly convincing, earning him recognition that extended into sequels and video game promotions. His childhood in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, was shaped by the shadow of his father, karate legend Louis D. Casamassa, creating immense pressure to achieve martial excellence from an early age, often isolating him socially and instilling a strict, almost obsessive training ethic. Professionally, Casamassa experienced the challenges common to martial artists, transitioning into Hollywood, negotiating typecasting, navigating an industry that valued spectacle over skill, and occasionally clashing with stunt coordinators or producers over safety and authenticity. Whispers of his exacting nature circulated on set, but no major scandals emerged. Personal life remained relatively stable but private, with hints of the sacrifices demanded by relentless training and maintaining an academy for youth fitness, limiting social freedom. His life has also seen public admiration shadowed by professional frustration, particularly when Hollywood offered him minor or uncredited roles despite his credentials. At 62, he continues to lead the Red Dragon Karate Academy and run the Kick and Fit program, maintaining a disciplined and influential presence in both martial arts and entertainment. Casamasa's net worth is estimated between $2 to $3 million, accumulated through acting, academy revenues, and personal training programs, reflecting a life of dedication, expertise, and carefully curated professional legacy rather than tabloid spectacle. Talisa Soto was born on 27/03/1967 and portrayed Princess Kitana in 1995 at age 28. Kitana's regal elegance and deadly poise demanded an actress who could project both physicality and depth, and Soto delivered a performance that balanced ethereal grace with lethal efficiency, creating one of the film's most visually iconic characters. Her childhood in Brooklyn was far from idyllic. She grew up in a working-class immigrant family where financial instability and cultural pressures imposed a constant need for poise, leading her to internalize anxieties and suppress vulnerabilities, a coping mechanism that would follow her into modeling and acting. Her career before Mortal Kombat was glamorous, but fraught early modeling successes with Calvin Klein and Versace brought exposure, but also intense scrutiny. And as she transitioned into acting, she faced typecasting, director tensions, and at times a lack of substantive roles that challenged her to prove her talent beyond beauty. Rumors occasionally swirled about strained relationships on set and behind-the-scenes friction with co-stars, though none escalated into formal scandal. Her career faltered after a series of less successful films, forcing her to pivot toward family life. Her personal life has been marked by challenges as well: marriage to Benjamin Bratt, the pressure of raising 2 children under public scrutiny, and a breast cancer diagnosis during the COVID-19 pandemic, which she overcame. Soto now lives largely out of the spotlight, dedicating herself to health and family, with a net worth estimated at $7.5 million, derived from modeling, acting, and residuals, including real estate holdings, creating a quietly influential life behind the veneer of cinematic fantasy. Sandy Hellberg was born on 28/05/1949 in Frankfurt, Germany, and played the director in Mortal Kombat 1995 at age 46, a small but memorable presence whose comic timing added levity to a film otherwise dominated by martial mayhem and dark fantasy. Hellberg's character, brief yet memorable, benefited from his decades of experience in Mel Brooks's comedies, where he honed a knack for subtle absurdity that counterbalanced the tension of action sequences, providing audiences a fleeting sense of human eccentricity amid chaos. His childhood, shaped by his family's displacement from Germany post-World War II, was imbued with uncertainty and cultural transition. Adapting to new countries and languages forged in him a resilience and a wry humor that would become central to his comedic approach. Professionally, Hellberg navigated a career both prolific and occasionally frustrating. While he contributed to beloved works like Spaceballs and High Anxiety, and wrote for shows including The Golden Girls, he faced the recurring challenge of being typecast in minor quirky roles, limiting his earning potential despite undeniable talent. Though he has avoided major scandals, his off-screen life has seen quieter challenges, such as negotiating the pressures of raising a family in the entertainment industry, including guiding his son Simon Hellberg into acting while maintaining boundaries and coping with the industry's intermittent instability. Health concerns typical of his age have also required adjustment, though there is no record of public crises. Now, 76 Hellberg continues to enjoy a quieter existence. Appreciated for his steady career and mentorship in comedy, with a net worth estimated between $2 to $3 million, representing decades of work that blended character, acting, writing, and a commitment to sustaining a family legacy in Hollywood, a financial comfort earned without courting tabloid notoriety, but through steady disciplined craft. Keith Cook was born on 1709 for 1959 in Seattle, Washington, and appeared as the enigmatic reptile in Mortal Kombat 1995 at age 36, bringing a serpentine agility and chilling mystique to a character that combined human cunning with otherworldly lethality. Reptile's silent, slinking menace and sudden bursts of violence became iconic partly due to Cook's mastery of Wushu Taekwondo and karate, which allowed him to perform fluid, terrifying movements that left audiences in awe. His upbringing in a middle-class American household was conventional on the surface, but Cook navigated bullying for being hyperactive and socially awkward, learning to channel aggression into martial arts, which became both his shield and his identity. His career highlights include stunt and acting roles across multiple films, including later portraying Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yet the path was not without professional turbulence. Early miscasting, studio conflicts over stunt safety, and friction with co-stars over fight choreography revealed a combative side behind the disciplined exterior, though none of these incidents escalated into lasting scandal. Personal relationships have been discreet, avoiding tabloid exposure, but the demands of travel training and physical risk have led to periods of estrangement from family and friends. Cook also endured physical hardships, sprains, broken bones, and concussions, common to martial artists who push themselves beyond normal limits, and he has occasionally spoken about the mental strain of maintaining perfection in a field where mistakes can be career-ending. At 65, he continues to teach and train actors for major productions, such as Avatar and Alita Battle Angel, maintaining a reputation as a rigorous but fair instructor. His net worth is estimated at $1 to $2 million, reflecting decades of consistent work in martial arts and stunt performance, rather than blockbuster-level fame, a life where skill and discretion outshine the allure of celebrity drama. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through classic television history. If you enjoyed learning about the cast of Mortal Kombat and where they are now, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more vintage Hollywood retrospectives, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your memories and suggestions, so let us know which TV show or movie cast you'd like us to feature next.